stored in it. This is the data which are stored in the namepoint contract. So you get all this data. And then you have the code of the contract in the EVM code, Ethereum Virtual Machine code.
This is Ethereum Tokyo meetup. Live now. Okay, we are talking about Gavin. Gavcoin.
We're talking about Added Zero and a few applications that have been built
on top of
the Ethereum blockchain. Yeah.
Yep.
So is it broadcasted now? So can I copy paste?
For URL,
maybe should I join Google Hangouts?
Okay. Let me see this. So it's broadcasted by Digital Money. What's the name of that?
Association.
Is that okay? It's broadcasted by that. Is that okay? So, did you talk about what we talk about?
Okay. We are talking about dog. And actually, talking about dog is talking about what we can do over the Ethereum blockchain. So to understand what we can do around the Ethereum blockchain is quite useful because it's rather rare information.
Okay.
Moment, please.
So, okay, good.
So maybe if you want to try like the Ethereum blockchain, you should maybe download the at zero, and you can do a few things with it. I can show you how like register name. For example, to register name, you have to send a transaction to a contract with some specific data, and then the contract runs and registering name. Then we can see that or online.
So did you talk about agenda already?
No. Sorry. Can I talk about agenda still? I guess about number 4, it's not finished yet.
No.
But please let me briefly talk about every agenda. What is Web 3.0? Maybe Web 3.0 is Gavin Wood was talking about Web 3.0 around Ethereum blockchain, and I have a slight idea about its benefits because it's trustless architecture. So currently Web 2.0 has single point of failure, but if it's distributed, there's no such single point of failure. So theoretically, it's something. Practically, I do not see a lot of benefits, but as far as I guess, Gavin Wood or somebody dislikes some movement after Edward Snowden. So Edward Snowden's incident has significant impact to many hackers in US or in the world because they like to protect their privacy for their society. But I guess that single point of failure itself is important for our privacy, but the only concept, that concept only is not powerful enough to promote Web 3.0. Therefore, I guess that Web 3.0 has other functions. So that's my agenda 5. And Agenda 6 is, so what is the best way to promote Ethereum from Tokyo? How to collaborate with the global community? We can think of technology and business developer and future miners and buyer of Ether and use case scenario. So it's, I think that core developers can be anywhere, but as far as I know, it's Canada, Silicon Valley, and Israel, and UK, and Amsterdam. And personally, I hope any talent will join from Tokyo also. So, shall we go back to Dog? Or
I don't know, but maybe you want to begin with the first point, the first on your agenda.
so first agenda, it's sidechain or Ethereum blockchain. And my personal preference is independent blockchain, I mean Ethereum blockchain. And I'm hearing from some hackers that Ethereum has been changing its target. So it's too ambitious. Maybe it will not launch. That's what I hear from some hackers. But after seeing your after seeing such demonstration, it's not as maybe it's very practical enough. Maybe it can be commercial solution. Then we do not have to worry about sidechain, because sidechain is not necessary if Ethereum blockchain will be successful. So changing Bitcoin protocol and Bitcoin blockchain is more dangerous. So, but it's so as far as my personal opinion is to keep the BTC protocol and blockchain and make another blockchain successful, and which is Ethereum blockchain. But to participate this discussion, anybody, you or you, well, myself, needs to talk with Vitalik or Gavin or somebody, or maybe making blog public. But like I said many times, my personal preference is still independent Ethereum blockchain.
Okay, I see. So about some questions that you raised in your agenda, if you go to the Reddit of Ethereum, you have some question like this. On the Reddit, for example, yeah, like the minimum cost of the pre-sale, the date of the pre-sale. But you have a lot of information on the Reddit.
I see. So Ethereum Reddit is the most influential discussion.
I mean, you have a lot of information. Like people post like different information they have about, so it's kind of interesting. And I'm also using the IRC channel of Ethereum, where you can, if you have any question, just ask them. Like, you have a lot of people connected, and like yesterday I was trying to do some stuff with Allet Zero, and actually it was really useful. Like I didn't know how to use it, and I asked it here on the IRC, the chat, and I received some good answers. So that will be like my two advice if you want to get a lot of information.
So what was your question, and what feedback did you get?
My first question was I couldn't, I didn't manage to use a name registration contract. So when you, in Ethereum, when you create transactions, you go here, and so you send transaction to name registration contract. You can also put an address here, but because the name is registered, you just have to put the name. So you don't need to send money, and you know, like you have to put some data here, like to give your name, and I didn't know how to put it. Actually, so to register your name, you have to do like this register, and then you have to do you just put your name.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not already taken, it's going to put it in this contract. So your name is going to appear here.
Just name, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have like for example here and here, like my name, my address, and the name associated.
So is it another DNS?
No, it's not.
I mean,
It's not DNS.
No.
Just name, right?
Just name.
Just real name.
Yeah.
Doesn't have IP
But
address.
just to show you like how it works, like you don't know, like you know that you can send data with Ethereum. I mean, you can send amounts, you can send still, but that's how you have. I mean, for this contract, that's how you have to send it. But I asked that, and
so is it simple use case of contract, and it's registering names?
yeah, this is a really simple contract. But like People Republic of Doug, so it's an Ethereum application. It's working on maybe 4 or 6 contracts. It's not just one contract, it's maybe 6 contracts, I think. And I think the Gav coins, it's just one contract. But not problem. For People Republic of Doug, it's a more complicated application, running on more contracts.
Okay.
That's pretty useful. And I also asked, but it's technical. I mean, it's not really useful. Just because you have some software that you can use. I mean, some software that you can use to to look at the Ethereum blockchain. And I wanted to know where was the Ethereum blockchain. And it's on Mac. It's in library. Application support, Ethereum, somewhere here. And then you have the blocks and the state. I mean, if you want to then have a look at precise to see how a bit, because it's a different blockchain from Bitcoin. It's not the same. It's not the same concept. It's a bit different.
So, did you download something like Bitcoin D? I mean, Ethereum D.
Like Bitcoin QT?
QT, right.
Something like this.
Is it like Bitcoin QT?
So Alert Zero is a bit like Bitcoin QT. It's just like since Ethereum is a bit more complicated and you can do more stuff, you have a lot more options. That's the difference. And also the nice thing is right now you can mine easily.
Yeah,
it's a test net, so I don't know if it's going to be like this after, but you can just click on this button and you can start mining. Wow.
So you have to mine first to get Ether?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You have to mine. You have to mine to get Ether. But it's really easy to mine. I mean, people, since it's not real Ether, it's going to change when they're going to launch the project. People are not mining so often, so you can really get easily some Ether to try to test and to use it a bit.
Okay.
If you want to use Ethereum in the future and to understand, it's a really good way to start using it.
Mm-hmm.
There is also clients, like the one in Java, but it's not working that much. I mean, it's not as good as this one, and the one in Go is also. I mean, my favorite is this one.
So Shimo-san, I guess that we should edit such starting environment. I mean, starting something like Bitcoin Qt for Ethereum is very important for many.
Yeah, but not really Qt. I mean, I think we can make that kind of dog thing with JavaScript, right? It's not difficult, right? To make some. Oh no, we need to make some contracts first, right? For example, I mean, just.
No, but you can, for example, you can create easily like just a web page where I think quite easily just a web page where like people can send you money. Like,
oh, okay.
Just create a website, you put some JavaScript, and then people like you put an enter, amount and enter, and people send you money. I think that's a you don't even need a contract, I think, to do this.
Really?
Yeah, you just need to put like in JavaScript
okay.
you have a function which is like send transaction and make transaction, and so you just put it in your code in your web page. You use this, and the transaction is going to be sent.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
So something like Qt has many functions like mining and token and dog and web browser.
I think this client just have browser thing and sending some messages.
No, but I think the browser, the aim of the browser is like Ethereum wants to be a decentralized application supporter. I get it. Just they want to be a decentralized. Yeah, Ethereum is a platform that is intended to allow people to easily write decentralized applications. So of course, when you want to write applications, you need a user interface. A user interface. And for the moment, it's using like JavaScript and HTML and CSS because it's the easiest. Maybe it's going to change in the future, but for the moment, it's using this. And so, yeah, you can create an application. For example, you can create an online a betting application where people can bet. And the good thing is like you don't need to have a company which is like legal. I mean, that you have to trust because it's on the blockchain.
So is the blockchain growing every day? I mean, even if it's testnet still, I guess many nodes around the world, and it's tested. It's being tested.
Yeah, it's being tested.
I heard
very interesting.
I heard you can put lots of data on blockchain. It's a blockchain. Is that true? I think you can. I don't know really how for the moment because I think you've heard like about the decentralized Dropbox. That's one of the things it says that you can do with Ethereum, but I don't know how. I don't really know how to do it yet. But you can store a lot of data. Yeah.
So are you saying that if Ethereum starts, MadeSafe is not necessary?
No. I mean, if you want to put 1 gig data.
No, it's too much. I think.
So everybody has to have 1 gig data for that. Like everybody has to have that big data
on the computer.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Really?
But you can't. Like, the data are going to be stored by contracts, and the length of the data that you can store is limited. The storage. Somewhere here. I read it yesterday.
So, is it?
Yeah, you're limited to 64 bytes of data when you send a message. When you send it, when you make a transaction. 64 bytes.
So you have to put some link on it to the actual data, or how do you store lots of data like that?
I think you can't store a lot of data. I mean, you can send your big data in small piece and then re-download it in small piece, but you can't send. You can like put 1 gigabyte of data and send it. You have to put like 64 and then again 64 and again 64.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not it's not used for this kind of thing.
Sorry, can I ask a little bit? I'm very interested in the Bitcoin. For now, every time the transaction will be stored in the blockchain. So how about 10 years later, the volume?
Can be big.
I guess about blockchains, Bitcoin's blockchain, it's becoming bigger and bigger, but it's at the same time it's becoming professional job, not for desktop, but for funded professionals' job to do the mining, becoming every day. Therefore, we should not worry about the size because they have huge huge computing power, huge hard disk. But it's discussed, and if we need to reduce the size of blockchain, I guess that it's not effective to have whole size of blockchain, but to reduce the size of blockchain, we should forget about some past transaction, and maybe, but as far as I know, it's rather discussed at somewhere. If you Google a lot, you can find surprise by. But what is good about Ethereum is talking about such things because Bitcoin is the most successful blockchain experiment, and as long as Ethereum will launch another influential blockchain, it's very important discussion how to avoid 51% attack or proof of work, ineffective computing power, and the size of blockchain. And that kind of things has been discussed a lot at Ethereum.
Yeah, Vitalik is like really pretty tough with his own work. Like he's questioning what he's doing like every week. It's like he's publishing a new article about like, oh, maybe this is not good, maybe we should change that. So he's like really taking care of what he's doing. So sometimes it's a bit annoying because it's like changing some part of the protocol, some part of the system. Like every week, you're like, it's really hard to follow. But in the same way, it means that he's really careful and he's asking the good question. I mean, we can be sure that he's 100% right, and of course, there is still a doubt that it's going to be good or not. But I think the fact that he's always like questioning his work is a proof that it should be quite okay.
Got it.
And of course, like I think like a bit like Bitcoin, when Ethereum is gonna be launched, you're gonna have some problem at some point. Some people are going to discover some mistakes, and they're going to try to hack the Ethereum blockchain. So it's gonna take some time for the Ethereum blockchain to be like really stable. But I think maybe after 1 or 2 years it should be okay. But yeah, of course at first you're gonna have some problem because he can't think about everything.
Yeah. So based on the white paper, there some of the statement is described in the white paper. Authority 03 is the way to reduce the storage of the not whole the blockchain should be stored in each of the local nodes. There is a way to reduce the storage. It's kind of the algorithm, or it's named Authority 03. I learned from your broadcast.
Oh, really? Okay.
in Kulibayashi-san session.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just stores the hash, right, for all transaction, right? And just
But in Ethereum, you have two things. You have a blockchain and you have a state database, which is different. Both are stored in Patricia trees, I think, but you have really two things. The state database is like every account are in the state database, and every account has so the address, the value, an ounce, and the amount. So if you have an account, you have your address in the state database. You have your address, the amount of money you own, and an ounce, which is the amount of transaction you've made. And if you're a contract, you're also in the state database. You have your address, then you have the hash of your code, which is okay. Actually, let's keep the good example here.
Is it stored separately?
Yeah, blockchain and state are so. Okay, this is a block, and this is in the.
Can I use this?
This is like what is. This is the state of the contract. So you have an ounce, the balance of the contract, the code hash, and the storage root. State and the blockchain is really you really have both. If you look at the database in for example at 0, you have the blocks which are stored here, and the state which is stored here. And the state is quite heavier than the blocks, by the way. And yeah, if you read the yellow paper, they really separate the two things. So it's a bit different from Bitcoin, where like Bitcoin is like every transaction is put at the end of the blockchain, and then you read everything and you calculate how many you have. Here you have every time you publish a block, you mine a block, the state is updated, so the block is how do you say, like sent everywhere, and the state is updated. So like if this person has sent some money to this person, the state is updated, so this person has less money and this person has more. It's really it's a big difference from Bitcoin. You don't have like a forever blockchain. You have a state.
Okay, the state also have to update in the node.
I think the state has to be updated in all nodes. Yeah. I mean,
in the same way.
You don't have. I think you don't have to store all the blocks. You don't have to store the blockchain, but I think like every node has to have the state.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think yeah.
So you mean that the state volume is very huge?
It is huge, but again, he said that. So the question is like, to update it, is it going to be hard to update it? You know, like a new block, you have to update the state. Is going to take long, and in this page, like it's Ethereum development tutorial, they explain that he said that actually it should be okay. It's not going to, when you update the state, it's not going to create a lot more space, and it's going to be fast. See, because of the nature of Patricia trees, which are special kind of trees, it's going to be fast and should be okay. But that's something that is quite different from Bitcoin. Just you have blockchain and a state thing. The yellow paper, you have a good definition of this. I think it's like one of the first points. Blockchain and blocks and state.
You have already read about all the yellow paper by yourself.
I've tried, but I don't understand everything. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
So do you look at it when it's necessary?
Sorry?
So how do you read this yellow paper?
When I have some doubts and I don't understand something, I mean, I'm not sure about something, I got this because this is really technical, and so, I don't know, I mean, it's 100% sure. I mean, it's it's raw information. It's not like explain or put in another word. It's like the raw information. Yes, it's called the word state. It's like on page 3 of the yellow paper. Page 3 of word state. And then start with blocks.
So white paper is very good spec, very good overview.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So it's concept. And what is the purpose of this yellow paper?
I think the idea of paper is that if you take it, if you're a programmer, a good programmer, and you take it, you can code an Ethereum client in maybe 1 month. I mean, with this, you have like really the technical stuff and how to code it. The white paper is too large, like it's too large concept. Like we use Patrick, we use this, but like you don't know which function to use, which function to write. This is better to. I mean, I think it's what new programmer use to code a client. Like for example, the Ethereum Java client. The guy said that he used this to do his client. Because at the end you have the function. I mean, to explain how to do it. Yeah. No, this is the virtual machine.
So you are saying that you are not reading this whole yellow paper, but you are particularly choose some parts to do your part. I mean, you are reading this for Doug, or you are reading this to do client Java something.
No, I've read it because I wanted to know how it works. It's additional information actually, so it's really detailed. It's like 10 bytes is associated to this. It's super detailed, super technical. So sometimes it's a bit bad, but it's too complicated, so I don't use it so much.
So is it still very basic definition and real implementation of Ethereum blockchain? So Gavin Wood really made Ethereum Qt with Java and Go and other languages.
So Gavin Wood did this, and it did the C++ client, which is Alet0. That's the name. Alet0 is made by Gavin Wood in C++.
Is this Alet0 still browser, but at the same time is it Qt?
No, it's a Qt, and you have a small. I mean, it's mainly a Qt, but you also have like a small port where you can browse. But it's mainly a Qt. The first thing is to be a client. I mean, what kind of a wallet?
So do we have many Qts like Java and C++ and Go?
I think no, you just have this. I mean, really working, and you just have these three: Java, Go, and C++. I mean, for example, on the Ethereum site, I think you can just download Go and C++. You have just these two options.
Wow. Do you have a client Qt already?
Oh, this one? I had. It was like POC3 or something.
So
it's working well since maybe 2 weeks, and before it didn't work.
Oh, really?
I have adapted it really.
And Go client is very late. It's not really implemented.
No, it's a bit later. Yeah, I agree.
So it's better
So
to use C++.
can I ask you some question? What about how did it proceed from POC 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5? So suddenly I see POC 5 recently, but it was there POC 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 before 5. So how did it progress?
I know only POC3, so but it's totally different. I think its name is some terminology is very different from that.
Yeah, it's like the system, the protocol. Maybe before it wasn't Patrick keys, or the protocol has changed to communicate between nodes. I don't know. I think it's like small change in the system that suddenly like Vitalik said, no, this is not good, I want to change it, so you create another proof of concept.
So they didn't have gas thing before, actually.
Oh, you didn't have gas?
Yeah.
Oh, now you have gas.
Is gas utility of Ether? If I use Ether as a coin, is it same as gas?
Yeah, the same. It's called gas to understand, but it's the same. It's Ether. It's like maybe 10 power minus 6 Ether. But the aim of gas is to avoid infinite loop.
I see, I see. So
Like-
it's actually, from the past, such concept existed, I guess, to avoid loop. Is as a gas is required.
Yeah.
It just name is changed. I
Yeah.
think.
From what to what?
There's no name for gas. I think.
Before,
I guess. I guess.
and now you
Great,
They
great.
just started call it gas or something like that. Anyway, yeah.
So downloading Qt is a very basic first step, right?
Yeah, but if you want to learn how to use it, it's I mean you have to do it.
Yes. Thank you. So any question? I personally appreciate this input a lot because it's becoming more realistic. At first, theoretically, conceptually, Ethereum is fantastic, but now I'm saying that it's real.
No, it's really, and applications are working, so no, it's quite advanced. Like I think I don't know, but lately you have like some optimistic guy saying that it should be really soon. I don't know if it's true or not, but no, it starts working quite fine. Like contracts are running, still are running quite smoothly. I think like the mining is still not real mining. It's not the Dagger. It's like it's still like close to Bitcoin mining, but so everything is not perfect.
So now we are saying blockchain is working and name can be registered and there's a web browser. So what is DOG? Is DOUG advanced application?
I don't really understand what that dog is. Do you know what Project Douglas want to do? Do you know what they want to do?
Which one?
Oh, Project Douglas.
Dagger?
Douglas.
DOUG.
Douglas.
D-O-U-Z.
Ah, Dog.
No.
No, Douglas.
Douglas.
Douglas. Dog is Douglas. Same, I guess.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not saying.
Sorry.
It's part of their project.
I
That's
see.
how it is.
Dog is a part of Douglas.
Yeah, Project Douglas is making dog. I think.
Yes. Probably.
No.
Probably yes.
Okay. And edits, they are making edits, I think.
Yes.
I don't know what that is. Have you ever used Ethereum Package Manager, EPM? No. Okay. I just know the only name. How can I share the link? I just wanna share the link with you guys.
What about Meetup? If it's okay for public, you can share it on Meetup web page.
Yes. I wanted to share the Hangout. Yeah, okay. I posted the link to the Project Douglas. So
So are you interested in Douglas, Ellis, and the dog? Well, what's it? Is your question relationships between Douglas, dog, and Ellis?
I don't know. Well, I don't know what they are. I don't know. Serverless consensus building and community governance platform. What's that?
So it seems that Ellis is first application of Project Douglas. Therefore, it must be the most updated something based on Ethereum blockchain.
Okay.
Do you have any idea about Ellis and dog?
No, it's the first time I'm hearing it.
So Project Douglas is Ellis and the dog and the C3D and EPM. And I guess that it's working around Ethereum blockchain.
Interesting.
Is it related to the project?
Probably.
Not yes. Yes. Definitely.
What is the difference between this and Ethereum project?
Ethereum is platform.
Okay.
So
On the top of the platform, this is the application.
I guess it's application. Project Douglas is project around Ethereum application, I guess.
Only Project Douglas on the Ethereum platform. It is only focused on the Ethereum platform. Is it right?
I guess so.
So around Ethereum, as long as it's computing language, Turing computer language, anything logically described can be done, I guess. But okay, I think that if nobody knows about Douglas, Ellis, Doug, and this kind of things, it will be topic next month, maybe.
Maybe.
So can I go to the next topic, which is what is most influential BTC 2.0 activity? BitShares, MadeSafe, Swarm, Counterparty, StoreJ, MasterCoin, ColorCoin, Namecoin. I'm asking because if Ethereum is commercial project now, Ethereum will replace everything, I guess. But as long as Ethereum is not commercial yet, MadeSafe, BitShares, Swarm, StoreJ is the only realistic choice. And I guess that it's going to affect activity of Ethereum. And at the same time, we are still on the same boat because it's still Bitcoin adoption. And actually, Ethereum community is broadcasting about Swarm and Counterparty. And the developer of Counterparty is Ethereum developing community, a member of Ethereum community. So do you have any opinion, or are you concentrating on Ethereum and you are not interested? Aren't you interested in other 2.0 activity?
I didn't really read about it.
Personally, I'm rather impressed at the Counterparty because is it like escrow?
It's not really like escrow. I think main target is smart property, right? I think they want to make something like financial thing for.
I'm impressed at the counterparty because actually I bought Swarm coin and Strategy coin through counterparty.
Okay.
So
That's why. Okay. Okay. Very interesting.
if it's not your interest, we will go to.
Is there any this kind of organization named BTC 2.0, or this is just a concept, or?
Its concept. So Bitcoin is quite easy to understand. It's not mysterious at all. BTC is coin. Bitcoin is coin. And Satoshi did two things, blockchain and proof of work. And it's quite successful. So Ethereum is thinking that BTC should be limited to such function. Only coin is good enough. And if we enhance the function around Bitcoin protocol and blockchain, I guess that the size of blockchain will be much more. Because, like you said, Ethereum has many changes to reduce the size of blockchain. So Bitcoin 2.0 is, if we think about Satoshi Nakamoto's paper like TCP/IP, Bitcoin is SMTP. And the 2.0 will be HTTP or JavaScript or Netscape or Google or Facebook or Twitter. What Satoshi Nakamoto did was quite fundamental. So now we can send and receive value over the internet. It's not before. It's not. There's no such thing before Bitcoin. But after Bitcoin, we can imagine value can be transferred, value can be exchanged over the internet, and that is Bitcoin 2.0. But I happened to see some hackers yesterday or last Tuesday, and he was thinking that 2.0 is fine, but 1.5 or 1.4 is also okay, because Bitcoin is not adapted yet. Bitcoin is, Bitcoin has reached critical mass, we can think about Ethereum or whatever, very ambitious, but Bitcoin may fail. In that case, Ethereum or other activity will be postponed. Therefore, 2.0 is very important, but at the same time, Bitcoin adoption is still important. So that's why Ethereum, Bitcoin, and in between is still important. Do you have any?
No, I'm really.
Okay, let's go to agenda 3. When Ether will be sold, December or soon?
How can we know that?
Originally, I was hearing that it will be December, but somehow Vitalik was saying that it's going to be soon.
Oh.
So I'm wondering.
Oh, okay. So they want money as soon as possible, right? It's better.
But I guess that you are the most close to the community.
Yeah, but I kind of forgot this. I think. Yeah, I think most information still say that it's going to be like Q4 this year, so not before October. Not before October, at least.
So, and you know a lot about client side and blockchain side activity, and is December realistic? Or what Q4 realistic for you?
That's a good question. I think yeah, it is. Should be. I mean, now it's almost ready, so they're going to test it a lot during maybe like the coming months and see like if they find any problem. If they don't find any problem, then indeed this is realistic. I mean, Q4 is realistic. But the problem is if they found some mistakes, some problem, then they're going to try to correct it, and then it can take more time. So I don't know. They will probably find some problems. So they're going maybe it won't be October, maybe more like December or something. But yeah, I think we should be able to see something. I mean, end of this year or beginning of next year.
I see.
But not this summer, definitely not.
Okay, great.
We still have time.
And are you thinking of buying it and mining it?
Thinking of buying some. Mining, I think like some people are going to get crazy really fast on the mining process. So it's going to be like monopolized by professional miners.
Yeah.
So some people who have like huge material.
I was hearing that Ethereum dislikes such centralization by professional miners. In that case, Ethereum community must have thought about distributed computing nodes.
Yeah, the Ghost implementation, but it's still under discussion, so it's not settled yet. But yeah, Vitalik wrote an article recently showing that if you have, like, for example, 1% of what it's trying to do is like if you have 1% of the CPU power, you're supposed to get 1% of the mining price. And if you got like 30%, you're supposed to get 30% of the mining price. It's trying to do something like this.
So it sounds like same as Bitcoin.
No, Bitcoin is a bit different. If you got 30% of the CPU power right now in Bitcoin, you get 70% of the mining rewards.
I see.
Like that's the problem. Like you have a big mining pool in Bitcoin, which is like beginning to be too powerful because I think they sometimes like mine 7 blocks in a row, and so like it's way too much. I mean, all the decentralized concept is like it's killed by such a thing. Some people are like exiting the pool like when they see this kind of thing happening. But Bitcoin, no, that's the problem. Like the biggest pool, I think it's like 30% of the CPU power, and they limit themselves not to get bigger because they're almost like controlling all the mining process.
It's good behavior, better behavior than before.
Yeah. Very good.
So do you know about GHashIO's behavior recently? As far as I hear from you, GHashIO was behaving badly before, and they exceeded 51%, even if they are claiming that they have not intentionally doing bad thing. But I guess that recently they changed their mind to limit the hashing power until 35. Then it's much healthier environment than before. And I guess that it's intentionally avoiding such behavior.
Intentionally, mathematically.
Yeah, I agree. I'd go with an algorithm trying to avoid this kind of thing. But it's still not said. I think the article I read was like 1 week ago, published 1 week ago. He was trying like to, he was making some computation, but I'm going to try to find it. We can try and post it.
So understanding Ethereum is understanding Bitcoin also. because it's avoiding fast failure of Bitcoin. And it's going to be sold next December or October or November. I still think that we should be prepared to test the testnet. And making some contract. And maybe you can start your business around Ethereum contract. And actually, as far as I guess, computer experts, it's rather rare for computer experts to know financial things. It's a different experts. So financial experts, computer experts, together they will make huge disruptive business, I guess. And Hugo is a rather exceptional case. He will be financial experts also.
Really?
I'm going to do the second master in finance next year.
Okay.
So any question about Agenda 3? So Agenda 4 is what is dog? Again.
So it's part of Project Douglas.
Yes.
I mean, like if you go to the Project Douglas part, like this, you have Aries and then you have dog.
Mm-hmm.
And dog is already implemented because you can use it on the testnet.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have, like, I think.
So it sounds like government is.
On the same form, you have a video of presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like from Ethereum, People Republic of Dog.
Mm-hmm.
And you have
You said we can have application on the testnet. Testnet means we can create a dummy P2P network or only running on one PC.
It's running with everybody.
Okay.
I mean, you can do it locally also. We could just do it between us, but it's not really useful, so because it's the same. But, I really don't understand how. I mean, what's the goal of dog, for example, or for the moment?
It's obvious that government contributed a lot to POC5, and it looks like Douglas is another project that's contributing significantly to the application layer.
I'm not familiar with the decentralized application yet, but I'm very wondering if I'm creating the new decentralized application and there is some bug in the decentralized application. How do I fix and how do I deploy? How do I update that application through the all of the P2P node?
So I guess that Qt itself is, the maintaining Qt is the most important thing, and Bitcoin has been successful about maintaining Qt because effective Qt will dominate the blockchain.
No, but I think like so. The question is like. So let's say you make an application, you do it like in HTML, CSS, a bit of JavaScript, like you make an application, and it's going to run on contract, probably, and so you're going to create contracts, send it to create contract, put it in the Ethereum network, and your application is going to call this contract to do such an action. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, you have like you have to see like the web page that you open through the Added Zero browser. You have to see it like kind of the user interface, like the interface. And in the background, it's kind of like your library is going to be the contract. So like to perform certain action, you're going to call a contract which is going to realize the action.
Okay, but if that contract has some bug or problem with it, with itself,
so you can kill it. You can kill a contract. If you're the creator of a contract, you can kill it.
Okay.
I think it's an option that you have to put somewhere in the initial code, but you can kill a contract.
Okay.
And even if you couldn't kill this contract, you can create another contract and then like point to the new contract.
Okay.
But you can also I think I've read you have a suicide kind of tool, but you can kill a contract and then like replace it by a new one or create a new one and fixing the bug. So it's not a big problem if you experience some bug in your first contract.
Actually, I tried it.
Yeah, I think like I'm gonna try like to code some contracts too, but I haven't tried it yet. And try to publish it and run it. It's a big deal.
Do you need ESA to run the contract?
Sorry?
Do you need ESA or gas to run such contract?
I think you need some gas, yeah. Because somebody is going to mine your transaction and you need to pay for this somewhere.
I guess that it's not very easy for many persons to use gas.
Is it?
I mean, Analyzer is really useful. I mean, it's already hard encoded. I think. No, attention. But you have predefined values, so you don't care about gas. You just like send your stuff. And the gas is calculated, so you have a gas price, and like depends on how many lines you have in your transaction. No, it's not. I mean, for the moment, it's not a big deal. And if Ethereum runs in the future, like you will have a set gas price. I mean, you will have a lot of explanation for gas, like how much people ask for this kind of for per line. I don't think it's so complicated.
Is there any limitation or restriction before deploy that kind of decentralized application? I mean the
Legally?
Legally. Okay.
I don't know. I think Ethereum is going to be legal. They kind of protected the names. They have a lot of lawyers in their team, so it should be okay.
Is there any verification step before the deployed application?
No. So you're gonna have some trashes, and actually that was another article from Vitalik, because at some point you're gonna have like in the state, for example, you're going to have like not used account, not used contract, so like trashes, and I think we're seeing a way to remove these trashes. What was your question again? Sorry, I forgot.
Oh, okay. In the case of the App Store, there is some kind of the investigation step.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Of the application is trusted.
No, no. I think you don't have to. I mean, it's that's the point of a decentralized blockchain. I mean, just publish your thing, and if it works, I mean, no, you don't have any problem with that.
And the next question is that if there is a very famous application on the Ethereum network, application A, this is a very famous. Everyone wants to use this one, but some of the very bad guy create that very same application. How do I know this is trust application and this one is not?
It was discussed in one article. The answer was what? I don't really remember the answer. But it was discussed. You can, I mean, like I told you before, like Vitalik is like constantly questioning his work, and that's one question he raised. I just can't remember the.
But there is some logic.
Yes, there is some logic behind. I don't know if it's going to convince you, but he thought of it and he has tried to put an explanation. Okay. I don't remember where he published all his articles, but I think it's on his own blog.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Maybe some in the future, I think. Yeah, because what's a Chrome plugin for Bitcoin? What's the name of Chrome Bitcoin wallet plugin? Do you remember?
CryptKit?
CryptKit, yeah. Somebody made similar buggy or no, they have some wrong similar wallet.
Really?
Yeah, that's why they just stopped.
So on Google,
Google stopped.
are you saying that there are two types of ChromeKit?
Somebody made similar product,
Really?
uploaded. So
And was it very confusing?
yeah, that's why they removed.
Is it Google's responsibility or CryptKit's responsibility?
I don't know. I heard.
So in the current internet, we prefer to use HTTPS, and that's based on the web service have to buy some certification from the VeriSign or Global Sign, as you know. So that kind of things we need in also the P2P decentralized application, I think. That's why I'm asking.
I don't know how to fix it.
So Ethereum is very interesting.
Maybe we can make some service for that. Trusted the app. Yeah, the app ranking or I don't know, certification. I don't know.
There's a comment from Hugo.
Yeah, this one is a shortcut.
Mining by Vitalik.
Nice. I like this one. And the subject is a bit large, but you have a lot of information in these two articles about Ethereum. It's quite technical though, and it takes time to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Okay.
Thank you. I have a better understanding. I have a good context from you.
Do you know what Ghost is? I know that's protocol.
yeah, that's the main. I mean, you know, like the new thing about Ethereum is to reward uncles.
Uncles.
So in Bitcoin, when you mine, you take the former block, and like if you're mining and another block is displayed before you, what all the computation you've done in order to mine this block is lost. It is lost. You know, it's not useful anymore. I mean, like the guy who actually mines the block is getting all the reward, even if other people were trying to mine. The goal of Ethereum is that even if you've tried to mine a block but you didn't succeed because somebody mined it before you, you still get a reward at some point.
Really?
Yeah, that's the Ghost implementation.
Wow. Why? I mean, okay.
So that's a new thing, like to compare with Bitcoin.
Oh,
Like,
that's interesting.
so when you mine, you have to put when you create a new block, you put in your block some uncle's name. So how can I say that? I'm not 100% sure what I'm saying to say, but the way I've understood it. Let's say that okay, I'm going to try to do it here.
So is it invented to avoid a pool? No.
Is it?
So right now Bitcoin has many pools because reward will be distributed only one node. So that's why query is dominating. To avoid such thing, are you sending the reward to many?
I don't know. I don't really know. I think it was mainly because you want to be more fair, fairer. But but the concept is like this block. This is a blockchain, and two people are managing this one. Two blocks here, and this one is finishing first, like first, and this one second. And so this one is going to win, and people are going to mine after this one. But the guy who is mining this one, like you have a block hash, can include like this block hash in this block. And by including this, like when this block will be mined, if this block is mined, then this guy is going to receive money.
Oh.
And the incentive, I mean, like you can say like, why this guy is going to put this block hash in his code? Doesn't mean anything. But like when you mine, you have kind of a nonce in your block, which is you have a number in your, I don't remember how it's calculated, but you have a number in your block which is bigger when you include anchors. When you include other block, the number is bigger. And for example, let's say like these two are mined at the same time. The one with the bigger number is going to win. So like the incentive, like people are going to put anchors in their block in order to have a better number. And when they're going to release their block, the block is like more likely to win. Does that make sense?
Bigger number means the first one and second one find the number, but
so you have different. Yeah, for example, let's say they're released at the same time, or like 1 minute before, 1 minute after. I think this is like in the article towards 12 seconds mining or something like this. So like this one is like 1004, and this one is like 1075.
What's the number of that?
That's a nonce, which is calculated depending on a lot of things before. I don't remember everything, but you have a number. It depends what you put in your. If you put like more anchors, this number is increased. So for example, like this one is going with no anchors, it's like 136, for example. But if you put some anchors, it's gonna be maybe like 9. And so like if in the same time, like this one is not including any anchors, the number is going to be this one. So if this one is released first, but this one is released just after, this one is going to win. So it's yeah, no, it's
多分番号が if it's bigger, it's gonna win. You mean?
Yeah. You have kind of a time where like the block with winning is not decided yet, and it's going to be like the highest number is going to win. And you can get this higher number by putting anchors in your block. But you just really read the article I posted, which is called.
So if you have
12-second block time.
So if you have lots of blocks, it's gonna win. You know?
Now, if you put the block hash, just the hash of all the block of anchor block, this is the anchor. This is for example, this one. This is the parents, and this is the anchor. And if you put just the hash, just the header, the hash of in the header, if you put the hash in your block, then it's going to send. I mean, if you win, it's going to send money to this block, but it also makes you more likely to win.
But if somebody has same number like 1 or 35 at the same time,
I think it's the first. I mean, if they have the same number and they finish mining at the same time, that's a good question. Maybe it's like in in Bitcoin, you know, like they continue mining, and the first one who mines the second block is winning. Like in Bitcoin, like if two blocks are released in the same time, they both continue mining on the previous block, and the longest blockchain is going to win.
Yes.
That's how Bitcoin solve this problem. So maybe it's like the same way. So like they continue like same number, same time. This one like released this one before, and so this one is the original and the blockchain is like this. But it's not remember something that important. But that's the Ghost protocol, one part of the Ghost protocol. That it means that you're going to reward and I mean, the miner is not getting all the money. Some other people are getting some money. I think it's 80% and maybe 20% divided there. Saying this.
So what's going to happen that 1039 block? It's going to be 1040. You mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be orphan block, right? Or it's going to be.
No, just a number. Like don't I mean. Okay. Once again.
Oh, what's going to happen to the that block? Not that one.
1039.
Yeah, that one.
This one is lost. I mean, I think like some people can put his hash and use it as an anchor. Like this one is going to become an anchor. Like this block is an anchor of this one. I mean, the parents of this block is this, and this block is kind of the brother, so the anchor.
Oh.
It's not an easy concept, but
So that block still exists.
yeah, it still exists. I mean, his hash still exists.
Okay. In blockchain, it's gonna be, broken and trying to make it after 1041, right? In blockchain. Oh, no, I mean Bitcoin. In Bitcoin style, it's that block gonna be broken.
Yeah, it's forget. Nobody cares. It just lost.
Right. But in Ethereum, it's gonna exist.
Yeah, it's going to exist.
Really?
Oh,
It's going to exist. That's why they get the reward.
Yeah.
That's I
don't know
think
really
that's-
how it's going to get reward, but yeah, that's the Ghost protocol.
But
Yeah,
I think this should be abundant about to reduce the size of the blockchain.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I don't really know how works the protocol. Just like something a bit like this, and just to say that these people can get money. It's not just the miner who gets money. That's the big new thing with the Ghost protocol.
Okay. Cool.
So this goes to mainly realizing this. Is the main purpose of the ghost is
Yeah, it's realizing this.
to distribute the rewards.
But I think like it's explained in the white paper. You have like modified ghost implementation. The white paper, modified ghost implementation.
Right, right.
Yeah, the first paragraph is explaining why they want to, the reason why they want to come.
We talked about it before with Mr. Kurimoto.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe I forgot. Greedy harvest observed subtree.
So can I go to next topic? We have some understanding for Doug, a little bit. And what is Web 3.0? Web 3.0 was mentioned by Gavin Wood. He presented about it in London Ethereum meetup. And Web 3.0 has 4 advantages. One is decentralized, therefore no single point of failure. But I do not understand the other 3. And but it's based on Ethereum blockchain, and it looks something quite new. If you know something about Web 3.0, it's valuable to be shared.
Web 3.0 is just a decentralized idea. That you don't need to believe a website, you don't need to believe a government. You just need, like, you don't have to trust anybody. It's just between you and the other guy. And if you want to, I like to think about the betting website. Like if you want to bet now, you go to a website and they're going like to put all the bettors together and see, and then give the reward. But you don't have the guarantees that these people are not going to keep the money and run away. Like the thing with decentralized application is that you don't have this risk because it's all code, it's all algorithm. So let's say I want to bet against one people. I just send my money to a contract. It does the same, and the contract manages everything. You don't have to trust anybody, and that's decentralization. And I think that's what's behind Web 3.0.
In that case, escrow is not required. Trusted third party is not required. Escrow is not required.
Yeah, that's the idea.
So it's something quite new.
That's what Bitcoin does. I mean, you don't have to trust any government, any bank, and you just have to trust the code.
So I guess that there's many chances for financial entrepreneurs.
But how do you get money from it?
From Ethereum?
I mean, if it's P2P, if it's pure P2P, there's no way to get money from it, all right?
No, you can.
Only miners, right?
No, I mean, if you create an application,
you
make your application.
Oh, okay.
You get money when people use your contract. Contracts say like every time some people, to use my contract at this price, I'm going to pay maybe 80% of, maybe 10% of what you've sent to my contract. You just say in your contract, like, send me this percentage of the fee.
Oh, okay.
So you can make, pay not free application, payable application.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see.
Payable application with BTC or gas?
Gas?
No, gas is different. Gas is just like to make work, to pay it's like the transaction fee.
I see. But you still need the gas to run the contract, right?
You need gas to run a contract, but that's the sender of the guy who sends the message who is going to pay the gas, and the miner is going to get the gas.
I see.
But for example, like if you do a betting application, like if people bet, you take 1% of that bet, and you get some money. So if you provide a great service, a great application, I think people will pay for it at some point. I don't have brand ideas right now, but
it's good in luxury, yeah. You don't need to pay for servers, right?
No, you don't.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
But you need to pay for the computing for people who are going to mine. You need to pay for that. That's the gas transaction fee. The gas.
But yeah, okay. But if I make application, I don't need to pay for any gas, right?
No, you don't. I don't think so. I mean, maybe when your contract is going to send you the money, maybe like we lose maybe a bit, like really nothing, but maybe a bit in transaction in gas. But I think it's really small.
Okay. It depends on application, right?
Mm.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't have to. It's different. Yeah, it's a different kind of cost. You have to rethink everything. I think.
Do you know any other example? I mean, ideas for Web 3.0 application? There's some example on Ethereum website, but I don't really imagine how it works and how it's.
So there's a swarm or DApp or such concept around 3.0.
Gavin was talking about marketplace, B2B marketplace. You can send some stuff to someone. You can get something. You can change some stuff.
This is smart property, smart property, something like this. Last time when we were here, I also speak about another type of contract, which is like kind of financial contract. I've explained the hedging contract. You want to hedge your money. So, for example, you're going to go on vacation for 6 months, and you own maybe 10 Ether, and you're going in vacation for 6 months, and you're not going to use this Ether. So you want, but you don't want. So right now your 10 Ether worth $10, but you don't want to come back and see your 10 Ether costing now like maybe $5. So you can send your Ether to a contract who's going to keep it during 6 months, and at the end send the exact value that it was worth at the time you send it. So it's going to give back $10. Even if Ethereum has gone up or has gone down, it's going to send you to give you back $10. You can do that with a contract, for example.
Oh, really? I don't really understand how it works, but it's like derivative or option or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a future, I think. Future.
Okay.
It's a derivative of future. It's a special derivative.
Okay.
You have the code somewhere. It's one of the examples. Maybe even if you wait, no, that's the form. Okay, but you have it on internet. You can find it.
I guess that with Bitcoin, derivative is possible if we make a lot of effort. But with Ethereum, it's going to be super easy.
Yeah, it's going to be easy.
So I used to think about how BTC will change central bank and securities and investment bank and commercial bank. But it needs a lot of effort to disrupt these things. But with Ethereum, we can imagine that the barrier will be much lower. So that is the most fundamental disruptive technology in the whole human history.
Can I ask? I'm not sure. Bitcoin miners can get Bitcoin as a reward for the mining.
Right.
On Ethereum,
Yes.
how can miners get the reward? I mean, who can mine? For what?
Bitcoin, BTC, and computing power, providing computing power. Therefore, they get reward as a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And about Ethereum, to maintain blockchain, people will use gas or Ether to run the contract, and the miner will get gas or Ether as a reward.
Plus some Ether.
Plus Ether.
Yeah, at the beginning, it's going to be like Bitcoin. You're going to earn some. The mining protocol is, so you know how to in Bitcoin, you know how to mine. You just take your block and so you create a block with everything you have to put in it, and then you hash it with the hash 256 function. And in your block you have a nonce, so a number. Then you change every time you hash it. So you hash it first and and if it doesn't work, you hash it the second time, changing this number. And the aim is to have your hash beginning with a certain number of 0. So okay.
Hash.
So
you know hash.
Let's say your block is like, let's call it block. This is your block. So data the byte you have data you have in your block. You hash it. You hash this plus a nonce, which is a number. So it starts with 0, maybe more, something like this. And you hash this. And so it's going to give you a result, like a 32-byte long result. So A, B, C, or some C. And you keep hashing. So you keep hashing and incrementing this until your hash is going to begin with maybe, I don't know, right now it's maybe 7 zeros, 8 0. And you keep hashing. And when you find a number with the expected number of 0, then you have mined a block and you can send it.
No, maybe my question is different. So
yes.
In Bitcoin, miners can get Bitcoin as a reward for mining.
Right.
I'm not sure in Ethereum. For example, I heard that works on the contract, and contract varies on the. For example, like a country or government. So when it comes to government contract, who will mine for what?
Contract is a concept.
Yes.
Application of Ethereum.
Yeah.
Contract, it's like a language, programming language, high-level language. And
日本語で言っていいですか？質問。要はそのビットコインをそのマイナーの人が掘ってビットコインを手に入れるからその掘ってその要はビットコインっていうそのシステム自体が成り立つって理解できるんですけど、なんか政府とかそういった小さい共同体にも使えるっていうふうに聞いたんですよ、朝に。そういう使い方もあると。そうなった時に誰がそれをチェックする意味っていうかメリットがあるんだろう。要はお金のためっていうメリットがあるからチェックするのは分かりやすいじゃないですか。お金じゃないもののために誰がチェックするんだろうっていうところは。
そのイーサーっていうのはとはいってもマーケットプライスがつくので、
つくものしかそもそも回らない。
イーサーがもらえますと、そのイーサーっていうのはバリューがあって、それはそのビットコインとも変えられるし、円ともドルともユーロとも変えられるので、なので、そのエセリウムっていうそのネットワークとプラットフォームをその動かすには、そのイーサーっていうものが結局売買されますと。ビットコイン同様に。
そういう質問なんですか？質問の意図が僕分かってないんですけど、マイニングをするメリットって何ですかって話ですか？
そうですね、そうですね。
マイニングしたらイーサーっていうものがもらえるんですけど、それはビットコインと同じコインみたいなものなんですけどっていう答えでは違うんですか？
そうですね。
それがガバメントとかその辺が使うのはユーザーとして使う分には別にユーザーとして使ってくださいっていうので答えになってます。
まあそうですね。そこに価値を感じる人が使ってくださいっていうことですよね。
ちょっと分かってないです。ごめんなさい。質問が
触りまくってますかね。
なんか多分まだコンテクストが共有できてなくて、みんないろんな立場の人たちはいろんな立場で自分の理解で持って言ってるから、
すいません。
多分なかなかこのコンテクストを噛み合わせるの実は結構大変なんですよ。ただその人がゴールさえ分かれば、なんとなくね、分かるんですよね。やりたいことが分かる。
小さい組織が動かすのマイナーがなんでそれを手伝ってあげるのかっていう質問ですよね。
そうですね。それがお金とかなら分かりやすいんですけど、 お金じゃない場合にそれってうまく機能するの？
やはりお金なんじゃない
イーサは結局お金に近いですと。
ビットコインと同じですよ、コインと。
それ以外の使われ方がそれは新しい発明ですよね。お金じゃなくてやるものができたら。あるかもしれない、今はない。
Ether and gas is the same, right?
Yeah.
So why?
But you also have a reward when you mine.
Sorry?
You have a reward when you mine in Ethereum. Like now, like in Bitcoin, it's 20 Bitcoin, I think, 25 Bitcoin. So at the beginning, it's going to be the same. You're going to have a reward plus the gas price.
プログラムを1行実行するごとにイーサーがもらえると思っていただければ。
はい。あ、そこはなんとなく。
はい。
はい。
なんでみんなやったり。
So about this, is it proof of work or proof of stake or proof of one or hybrid of everything, or what is the latest status of Ether?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Do you know? Proof of work is criticized because it's abuse of computing power, but Ethereum is very smart to avoid such criticism.
I think so the mining protocol is called DAG. I mean, you also have this thing called Dagger, DAGGER, which is the mining one part of the mining system. And like Vitalik wrote an article saying that some people were building special processor just to mine Bitcoin, just to do hash 256 like again and again, and like special chip just to do that. And in order to avoid this kind of thing, to mine with on Ethereum, you will need memory too. You will need, like, I think 512 megaoctet memory at least to mine. So that's one of the solutions he has proposed to avoid the problem of mining Bitcoin. It's called Dagger. You can find it is on Ethereum wiki.
Can I go back? Finally, I read white paper in financial services pricing. Some user use choice appropriate price that they think appropriate to get Ether. But only if there are huge volume, you can say price is appropriate. So I think can I say it's easy to make derivative.
Is your question?
No, I think I understand your question. So derivatives is large. You have a lot of derivatives.
So to user show the appropriate price. I think it's not appropriate.
Yeah, I see. Are you referring to option pricing or something like
Yeah,
this?
I measure it now and change.
Okay. I don't know. I think, like, if you write a contract, you offer an option. Let's say you offer an option. You're gonna give a price to your option. It's gonna be like supply and demand thing again. I mean, the first guy is going to offer like the first option contract ever on Ethereum, and some people are doing maybe like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to do the same, but at a lower price. And I sometimes it should stabilize. I mean, people are going, because it's not going to be like you will have to consider more data that what you do with your Black-Scholes formula. You will need to consider so the gas price, running the contract, how much it's going to cost you. So you will have more data. But I think it's going to be the same afterwards. I mean, how can I say? Like you use your option pricing formula, for example,
Yeah.
and then you can compute like your contract running fee. I mean, how much is going to cost you when people are going to send you money, and you adjust your price like this. I haven't studied like Blasco for a long time, so.
But now real financial industry we can't use our pricing formula to buy an option. So buying option price is buying option price has to be created by demand and supply.
Yeah.
So in minor derivative case, demand and supply is a little. So I think it isn't easy to
Price.
price it.
Oh, okay. No, indeed, but maybe at some point it's gonna. I mean, of course, at the beginning the supply and demand is gonna be little, but if it works, it's gonna be an increase, and you won't have this problem anymore. It's maybe like 1 year after, like you will have a real supply. I mean, a strong supply and demand process, so you can adjust. I mean, it will be also adjusted on supply and demand. Just, I think it's really the same concept. It's just like instead of trading options on Bloomberg, you're going to trade options on Ethereum. It's just practically the same thing. Just like you create a contract, like you create a contract which is going to do the same thing virtually than the option.
If Ethereum net price, if I think it's lower from my perspective. So what I should do is to buy it. It's okay.
Yeah, I think you're kind of speaking of trading on Ethereum right now. So it's a bit like trading what you want to do, right? It's almost like trading what you want to do. You want to trade on Ethereum. Yeah, that's right. I don't really know how it's gonna work. No, I mean, trading is you have a lot of options. You can do a lot of things. I'm not sure. I don't see. I can't completely picture it on Ethereum. I can't right now. And also, you have to keep in mind that somewhere, like when you buy an option, you buy an option from another bank, from another counterparty, and you trust this counterparty to give you, I mean, to pay you or to lose or win money. Like you're making a contract with another person. In Ethereum, you're gonna have to do this also. Yeah, you're gonna have to trust the other person. Oh, I don't know. No, I really like it. I mean, it's too early to go that far, I think. But maybe yes, some people are going to work on it definitely. I might want to work on it also, but now I can't picture how it's gonna work. But I think it should be possible. I'm quite confident about it. Just like my advice for you, give a look at the hedging contract, which is the first hedging, like a future. Like it's almost a future contract, and you have the code. You can have a look at it and how it works. It's I think it's on the wiki, or it's really easy to find it.
It's easy to imagine a future.
Yeah, it's easy.
Option and some MTBs.
Yeah, it's difficult, but a lot of smart people are going to think about that. So someone is going to come up with something, I guess. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I hope so. Yeah. But no, I don't see one.
簡単に理解を共有してもらえますか？
デリバティブ
リスクにいろいろ種類がありまして、現時点でただ契約を結んで将来の視点でこれを発行すればいいっていうデリバティブもあれば、オプションっていうような、将来100円以上にスリーの株価が上がれば、その100円を上回った分だけがもらえるようなオプションは現時点で価格をつけないといけないんですけど、ホワイトペーパーを読むと、その価格付けの部分を周りする参加者が妥当な値段を提示して、で、実際についた値段との近ければイーサーがもらえることで、全ユーザーが妥当な値段を出すはずだっていうふうに書いてるんですけど、その妥当な値段を実際に、じゃあ2人のユーザーが10円、9円で出したところで、その 9.5 円で決まったのが妥当かというと、いうような感もあるんで、そうなった場合に、デリバティブを作るのが簡単だと言っても、なんかすごい小さい、あんまりみんなが興味ないようなことに対するデリバティブであれば、プライスを出すユーザーが少ないと、そのプライスアームには妥当だと言えないんじゃないか。現在の仕組みの上だと、その妥当な値段っていうのはどうやって出してるんですか？それはもう完全、ディマンド、需要と供給のあれで、市場から実際についてる値段についてって感じなんで、今、実際にファイナンスのところで、オーダーメイドに作っている商品は、その市場でついている値段を反映して、銀行をやっている人たちが作るプライスをリンクしているって感じなんですけど、イーサー、こっちのマイナーの部分も、市場の現実の市場の値段っていうものを参照するようなプロトコルっていうか、にはなってない方になってない。市場全然詳しくないんで、参照する形にはなってるんですけど、市場を参照したっていうのが正しいと言える状況ってかなりの市場参加者がいないと、正しいとは言えないのかなっていうふうに。
ただそれについては、まだそこまで考えてないけれども、誰かたくさん集める人たちがいるから、なんか会が出るんじゃないかっていうことで、素晴らしい。すげえ。Thank you very much. He has idea to start his business. Right. So, we have a better understanding about Web 3.0, and the last topic is what is the best way to promote Ethereum from Tokyo, how to collaborate with the global community. And what I understand today is to make an environment to utilize Qt and Douglas and Eris. And I'd like to share such environment information with cooperation with Shimo-san, maybe. But we should, anyways, share such environment information to start using Ethereum. And we will wait for the Ethereum public offering. That is the best way, I think. And I will write down something about the environment soon, I hope.
What do you mean by environment? You mean software?
Qt, Douglas, Eris, Gavin Coin, and web browser, such kind of stuff we should definitely use. And do you like to talk about Project Douglas? I guess somebody write about.
I did.
Yes. So please.
Next meetup.
I see. So
that's our.
I see. Thank you very much for today's meeting. And next meeting will be hopefully after 2 to 4 weeks. So what do you think? We can agree the date hopefully just now. My suggestion is 2nd or 16th of August. If 16th of August.
I won't be here. I'm doing a conference soon.
So, do you have any suggestion? Actually, you are the teacher.
No, it's just like if you continue to meet, like maybe next time some of you will make some application, use Ethereum, and start to show each other what you have done with it, what you have discovered, and like, oh look, I've done this application, I'm doing this, and like and teaching. I mean, start working on Ethereum and showing each other what you work with. That would be my advice. I mean, if I could continue to be here, that's what I would like to do.
Right. So let's start something and share the result. So when will you go to France?
On the 12th of August. 12th
of August. In that case, 16th or this week, is it possible?
I'm going like to pack up, so it's gonna be a busy week. I can't confirm this. No, I won't be here next time. Sorry. That was my last one.
I see.
If I come back, I'll be glad to join again.
I see. So, では、2日か16日か。どっちがいいですか？
どちら何曜日ですか？
土曜日のこの時間帯にやってることが多くて、これはこれでいいのかなと思ってるんですけど。
お任せします。
では、16日で。16日の6時、8時。Thank you very much, everybody.